Hey guys, how's it going? And so, another week, another mobile suit, and we already knew what it was. It's the Kapool, but we actually get to see more of what it is, and I get to play against it. Pretty cool. 500, 550, ground, definitely amphibious. It has one dodge roll to add to his maneuver armor and explosive reactive. And here we go. Let's go ahead and watch some gameplay of it, or the little video of it. It actually seemed pretty good. It's got a lot of ways to stagger. The head beam actually staggers, I think, 2, maybe 3 times is what Gustav was saying. Those missiles can stagger really well. The crotch beam is pretty good, and the damage for its melee is awesome, and it has level 3 priority. This thing is actually a beast in the water, and I would probably go as far as to say it could definitely compete with the Mark II. The only big weakness it seems to have is that it has low beam resistance. And, you know, it's kind of big, but so it has some Gauss J problems, but it definitely has the damage, I think, to compete with that. It does have some good balance between ranged and melee, with having literally equal on both modifiers. And, yeah, so far, it looks pretty good, and it's definitely going to be good in the water, for sure. Does it really compete with the other suits at that cost? I think it's pretty good. Now, 550, you could argue maybe a little bit different, but at 500, I definitely think it's really solid. Now, they have the Striker Custom level 3 added, so if you get that, awesome. It's a really good suit. At 550, though, I think you got the Jarger and the Bawu that might beat it nowadays, so there's that. Also, by the way, they added the Marine 01 ID tag, as well as the, I think they had the hat already in. I don't know if they had both, but yeah, there's that. Again, we already covered a lot of this before, so we'll be skimming over a lot of this. So here's the stuff for the PS5 and PS4. Real quick, they do have a problem right now, so if you're watching this really early, closer to the update, right as of right now, where I'm recording this, the PS5 does kind of work with NA. You can get into games, but you can DC, and you can get caution from those DCs. So I'd be careful about playing the NA client. Go download the JP client. So here's what you do. You create a JP account. You then search for the JP client. You download it, and then you make that PlayStation your primary PlayStation so you can play it on your NA account. So it does take a few steps, but if you want to play, that's going to be the easiest way of getting it. So if you only got like a 2-hour window to play at a certain time before dailies reset, that's going to be the way you're going to have to do it until they fix it. I would say wait till PS4 NA players can definitely play, because again, sometimes you can get away with it in PS5, but there's still DC issues. Now, apparently the haptic feedback, from what Emblem was saying, is pretty weird, I guess, would be the way to put it. So, you know, if you like it, cool. If it feels weird and messes with your gameplay, then just, you can turn it off, luckily. So there you go. Also, by the way, I did get to play against the Kapool. We actually got some pretty good damage. I was even playing in the EXS, and I was getting hit pretty hard. So that kind of attests to how good its damage can be. And as well, its melee damage, which the EXS has low melee res, so fair enough. But it chunks. It's pretty beast, and it's got 2 hits on that downswing. So I'm curious to see what the modifier is when we talk about it on the podcast tomorrow. I just wanted to add that. But yeah, Gustav was doing really well in it. Now, back to this. We have linking. Okay, cool. They have that if you need to look through that. So I'll go ahead and leave that on the screen for a second. But we have English voices, which is why we have the base camp music going on right now. And here we go. Let's go ahead and go around the camp and listen to everybody. So, first off, I'm over here at the clan counter. Hopefully it doesn't hold me up.
This is the clan camp.
Here we go.
Nice work.
Now, honestly, I think his voice, only maybe a little, like, something else added to it, would be what they need for Neidhart. But Neidhart sounds a bit different.
Oh, there you are. I've been waiting for you.
I don't know.
That should be all you need to know.
And also having him as an operator, hearing him in game, doesn't necessarily sound what I was expecting.
Want to do some training? Which course did you
There's
want to
Tinda.
try? Aw, come back again soon.
And when I first went through these,
What a great performance. Impressive.
I forgot Coda. Now I do like Coda's voice. Pretty nice. I'm gonna try him out as an operator and see how that sounds. I will say though, Neidhart, some of the things he said though, I just kind of laughed at because it doesn't sound
Hey,
like him
pilot.
to me.
Anything you need?
There's Leona. She does kind of freak out.
We're gonna get this baby fully operational. Sorry, got a little carried away there.
I think the Japanese one definitely does better at freaking out a bit more. If it didn't cost so many,
So, what will it be today?
3-star tickets, I'd go ahead and do this. But I heard she's like, "Wowee" kind of thing or something. I can't remember what the wording was, but I know she says like "wow" or something. So I don't know. I like the crazier version. Katarina, probably what I would expect. It just
Hi.
seems a little
Welcome
cheesy
to
and over the
supply
top,
counter.
especially this.
Aha! Trying your luck with Base Camp's famous supply drop?
Famous supply drop, yeah.
You can exchange the GP you have on hand for materials. I'll exchange just about anything for recycled tickets.
So yeah.
Come again! Promise me you'll come back.
So there's that. Now I like Curtis's voice.
There you are, youngin'.
Curtis works. Curtis works.
Come by and let me tuck your ear off every once in a while.
Yeah. And you might have forgot about Dahlia because they don't really do anything extra for cosmetics with her.
Hi. What can I do for you?
But yeah, not a bad voice. Was kind of expecting something maybe a little different.
It has a certain charm. Good choice.
Just because of how she talks about wanting diamonds and stuff normally. So that'll be interesting when they do some of the events. I'm definitely curious to hear what they say. And of course, at the sortie counter.
I handle pilot sorties for the whole camp.
There we go.
Good work out there.
And then for operators, we're going to get back to the normal music. Here we go.
Confirm or change the various settings.
And I don't care for her voice in either way. I'm gonna go with the Paimon thing and say that's definitely emergency food voice. But anyway, here's Tinta.
I'll be joining you on the battlefield.
Need help, huh? You better have my back.
Yeah, still, it just, I don't know.
If there's anything I can do, I'm willing to help out.
I'll be joining you on the battlefield.
Now the cool thing is they seem to say different things and they all have kind of their own, personalities to talk during the match, which is really cool. I know it's funny how it sounds like they're insulting you sometimes. Like Neidhart was like, that artillery was very ineffective, and I'm like, oh man, why? Come on, you have to insult my artillery placement? Come on, man, please. But yeah, then we have for players who are playing in the PS4 version, cool. Okay, gotcha. Moving on, we've already looked at that. Okay, so we got the balanced stuff to go through. Military base. So here's my comment on military base. It's too big. It was kind of what I was afraid of. I was hoping it was a smaller deserted city, but it's bigger than deserted city. And it has those little craters that are very ineffective at hiding in. I guess you could go prone and do some silly stuff, and then somebody passes you up and you pop up and haha, I got him. But there's a lot of things you can peek around, so it's cool. There's some cool places to fight, but I feel like the problem is there's no really easy, obvious points to capture for power plays, and everybody's just going to be everywhere doing everything, and it's going to be a lone wolf fest, and oh man, I don't want to play this in rated. But for the content, we'll be streaming it, and we'll be trying it out, whatever cost they put on it, and just seeing if it works. And I'm just afraid as a support player where it's so big and I'm slow and I can't get around to help people, and it's just going to be a headache, I think. Definitely a map though that I think we could get away with 2, maybe 3 supports in a game, which actually is really cool. 3 might be pushing it way too far, but 2 for sure I think might be a good meta in 6v6 for sure. Now 5v5 you probably still want 1 support, 1 raid, and 3 generals. But yeah, I'm really curious to see if this could change things up. Now, flying suits are amazing on this. The XS was great to fly around in. The Oshimar is going to be a beast on this. I even say the Gaply is probably cool. So, really like the map just being in the game. Again, though, it's going to be a problem of I don't know if I want to play this during rated. And that kind of brings me back to an old rant about, having some more choice in getting into things when you're queuing. But anyway, I won't go back into that. We'll go over the balance stuff here in a second, but this is huge. Marker, level 1 has been changed now. So on the Night Seeker, the Night Seeker 2, the Night Seeker V, and the Bolinoak, it's crazy. So if you didn't know, when you're doing artillery, you could put it on your teammate if they're in one of these suits. That's what Marker does. The problem is it has a longer countdown, like 15, 20 seconds, something like that. And, well, then they're in the middle of the artillery pretty much when it goes off. So you can end up really hitting your... at 5 seconds it kind of displaces. But the thing is, you can hit them. So... especially if they're trying to hold back or something and they're not really paying attention, then oops, you just friendly fired your entire team. But the main thing now is it reduces the artillery damage by 45%. And they each have a enhancement from the modification one to increase that by another 30%, making that a 75% reduced damage from artillery fire. At that point, you're talking even on a Night Seeker level 1 at 200 cost, maybe even half its health at the most, which is kind of crazy. And you can't get staggered. Now, the thing is, the Night Seeker V does have a shield, so it's going to be curious how much resistance you have before your shield blows up. So if your shield blows up during it, that's kind of rip. You're still going to get just normal staggered, and at least they're heavy staggered in it if you're fighting somebody. But now you can just kind of tear somebody up while in artillery with these suits. That is crazy. That is big. And I'm really curious to see how this gets utilized in normal play. But the big thing is clan matches is going to be next level stuff. That is going to be cool. I can't wait to see clan match plays with these suits. The Bolinoak might be meta now, guys. It might be in there, especially the V, though. The V already works really good, so there we go. Moving on, though, we have the rating stuff. So, if you disconnect or leave, you're going to lose points now. We already covered this, so again, S- to A+, -7, AA-, -6, any B, 5, any C, -4, and any D, -3. Again, I already talked about it before. We're definitely going to rant about it on the podcast. I definitely want to rant about it now, but that'll be another 5 minutes, and we got to get into buffs, and I'm trying to go as fast as possible because there's a lot to cover. So anyway, yeah, they need to just make it a loss or an average loss. I'd say, you know, if it's 10 points for if you're at A and you lose 10 points, maybe have 10 to 14, 1 to 5 for the rival, or 1 to 4 for the rival maybe. So somewhere between 10 to 14, and that would be fine. That's what most other games do that do not have a reconnect system. Even League of Legends gives you a loss if you just leave completely. And now I don't know if your team wins, you might not get a loss, but if your team loses, you definitely get that loss, and it goes against you pretty hard. So why not? And they're saying sorry for this stuff. They don't need to apologize. That just needs to be how it is. And people whining about not wanting their score to go down is the same people who are leaving. So why listen to the people who are causing the problem? That's pretty much it. So, yeah, I mean, I know there's a couple of people in chat that definitely aren't people who leave that were also saying it's dumb to lose points. But the thing is, if they do this and you lose a chunk of points, that's the incentive not to do it. And they could move the penalty system to where it doesn't just automatically happen. That way, people who actually DC because of connection don't get a penalty and don't get in trouble. Because now, the way the penalty works is if you get level 2, so down here, it's a 120 hours, I believe, almost 5 days, like 5 hours from 5 days, and, or something like that. Wait, no, bad math. That is 5 days. I'm dumb. Anyway, point being, yeah, it is 5 days. Oh, wow, I can't believe I said that yesterday. Anyway, I guess I was tired. But anyway, so yeah, 5 days, and then if you DC again because your internet is bad, once that's over, you get another 5 days. So anybody with bad connection is just pretty much not going to play anymore. And they do say something which I'm curious. I didn't see it when I was looking through this, but before the change, after the change, if the performance of the actions worsens your lever status and the effect sortie ends, you would be subject to another sortie ban period. So they didn't say this in here, but they did have a wording in the last one where it said you won't be able to play rated anymore, or something to that effect. There was the words anymore. So won't be able to rated sortie anymore, I think is what it was. Point being, though, is that sounds like that's a perma ban from playing rated. I don't know if they're actually going to do that. I think that was just a bad translation. But, I mean, they could go that far. And if that happens, anybody who's just actually having bad connection issues, I mean, yes, I will say this. If you got a bad connection and you're trying to play, that's on you. If my internet was bad back when I was playing League of Legends and I was trying to climb to Diamond, that was on me. That was on me for trying to play with a bad connection. So, yeah, I just don't need to play at that time. This was back when I had internet that was 4 down, 1 up. So, I mean, that's on me if it's bad. So, I know people have crappy internet. I mean, it sucks, but if they got rid of the penalty system, then they could just play customs and quick match without any worry of getting a penalty. As of right now, yeah. Anyway, I think they should just do it with a change to get rid of that. And then, with the penalty system they have, move it to the reports. If they find somebody that's been reported and is guilty of that, then give them the penalty. And there you go. It works. It's great. That's how I would do it. Anyway, that's the quickest I could do that rant. Sorry if I'm beating a dead horse at this point. But anyway, here we go. Sorting preparation rooms. So they changed how this works because of the PS5 stuff. So now there's no extra messaging and stuff to go in and get an invite out. So it's a lot quicker to send out invites. So that's mainly the big thing. And if you have a password in a room and you invite somebody, they have to then enter the password to get in the room. Kind of weird to change that, but I guess that way, if you invite somebody, they can't just invite a bunch of random people or something, I guess. But I mean, if they got in, they know the passwords. I don't know. Anyway, that doesn't make too much sense, but sure. Also, to differentiate which tab you're on with the related mission types, they also change colors. Cool. Options related. They added the English language, which we already went through there, and we already exampled them, so cool. And I showed that video yesterday. PS5 stuff, we already went through that. Built-in speaker, cool. We went through the new suit. Here we go. Update stuff. I see a 7th for the premium stuff next month. Are we going to... Yay, cool. Dude, I don't have that. I want the weapons rack. Yes! Dude, that is hype. So, if you've got enough stuff and you're able to spend some tokens, you're probably going to get the last suit for free. I keep calling it the free suit, but there you go. Desert Go, you're not a bad suit. Meh. 7th, it needs a super buff. I'm just saying. So, cool, whatever. If you really want the 7th, there it is. Not the biggest deal. There's so much better at its base cost. I have the level 3 and it's pretty bad. I'm just saying. They need to buff it again. It still is weak compared to everything else that exists around it. But anyway, it's pretty much got mudrock scaling. Anyway, weapons rack though looks great. It is a fantastic suit. If you can get to this, it's amazing. I want it. I don't have it. I'm definitely going to be playing that like crazy when I get it. Can't wait till the third third of the month. There we go. Anyway, moving back to going actually back. So now we have in the ticket shop for 180 tickets the level 1 full armor ground type. Best, I mean it's a general, but best support. No, anyway, that combined with a Isaac is insane. That suit is a beast. It is crazy. You can decimate a base with it. Level 2 is about 210 tickets, so amazing value for that. Go get it as of yesterday. Anyway, go do it. Pell Rider Space. If you like the space type, it is a fantastic suit, even at level 3. Pell Rider Ground, that is a 500 suit. Not too bad. I've seen people use it. I got one. I tried it. It was fun. Yeah. I mean, and they, by the way, spoilers, they buffed the Pell Rider Ground. So, might not be a bad choice. I think you can buy the level 1 in the DP store, and maybe the level... Yeah, you can buy the level 1 and 2 in the DP store because I just bought the level 2. Try it out. If you like it, go get that. In the DP store, if you need the best support at 550, MLRS right there. It's in the DP store. Easy game. Zoc, one of my favorite suits. This is like my DP store entry right here. I've got both of them. I want the Zoc level 2. I still haven't got it. Please show up in the ticket shop again. Please. This is Heavy Gundam all over again. I didn't get the Heavy Gundam until I got in the DP store. So, Zoc, so much fun to play. It's got some cool things you can do with it and how it does its melee and stuff. You can beat some level 3 priorities if you hit at the right time. Really cool with the Zoc. MLRS, though, is the most meta support there is, pretty much. Go get it. Go get it. It's amazing. DP store, high five. Clan match schedule, here we go. We got... I forget that I have to do this. Whoa, what in the world? That was huge. But anyway, Monday. Wait, that already happened. The 6th. So nothing this weekend. So next weekend, on the 6th, we have Saturday, 4 a.m. But the big one is the one after that, when we have the late night one at 8 p.m. Pacific on 4v4, 550. Go get that MLRS, guys. Impact, simple battle. Also, the 350 is kind of interesting. Curious what we get next week. I don't know what would be 350. I don't think we're going to get a 350 suit, but I'm really curious what that means. I think the last time, was the last one we had that said 350 was like the O release? Game Mock? Come on. Eh? But anyway, let's go into the buffs and nerfs. Here we go. So real quick, going over the previous ones, everything looks to be going up where it needs to be. Rigogu, pretty average now with stuff. These, pretty much, I'm going over this because if you haven't tried them, they look like they could be good to try now, especially from their stats. Rigogu looks pretty good. Dallas J looks pretty good. I got wrecked by one today. Dom Tropical Test Type is just dumb at 300 and 350. Go have fun wrecking people. That downswing hits for like 6k on a raid. You're going to delete things with that thing. It is amazing. Go Ina swing with a Dom. Alex got a cool buff, bringing it up as well. Ashimar, go try it out. I finally got one. I tried it. It's a lot of fun, actually. New map, really good. Tetra. From the stats, it looks like it needs a little bit more, but it definitely feels great. I'm just saying. I love that suit. Palace Athene, if you're a support player, looks good now. I still don't have one. I want it so bad. And the Hama Hama, with the health buff, it actually can hold its own a bit. And I know there's some people who just play the Hama Hama like crazy and get in there with the melee. You have to get good with its melee and its decent speed. And now that it has a thruster buff, you might want to add a little thrusters, and then you can get in there and do some really good work. And there's some of the weapon buffs. Cool. Have fun with that. Moving on. Oh yeah, the shrapnel bazookas were great. I still use them. I love them now. They're fantastic to hit with. Anyway, this month, Double Zeta getting a buff. I was hoping for a little bit more, but we get thruster increased by 15 though, which is insane. It definitely needs that. It barely can move. Double beam rifle has heat reduced from 60 to 55. Increase the accumulation value of stagger. Increase the power of focus fire and reduce the heat rate when focusing fire. Really curious to see how that works. I'm guessing it kind of brings it in line with how the Phaz works. But yeah, it definitely needs some more love. It got buffed once, and right here they're talking about we made adjustments in November, and yeah, it still needs more. The EXS, dude, I've seen some people like just decimate the damage numbers and just the charts when it comes to this suit, and they're buffing it already. HP went up by 1,500. Flight control program level 2 looks great. Focusing fire on its main gun. Down by 1 second, it felt amazing to play this thing. I'm definitely going to try to get good with this suit. And yeah, this looks like it could be a heavy hitter. And the big thing is the reflector income was pretty much useless in a lot of spots and a lot of maps because it would hit buildings. The line would go through the building and it would just be like, pew, bounce, and won't do anything. So now it's supposed to be smarter at where it goes so that it can actually bounce. And so far, I hit just about every shot that I took, which is better than missing about 99% of every shot that I would take. So, yeah, I like it now. XS looks pretty juicy for what I can do. And with that fly control, too, that's really nice. I can pretty much fly across the entire new map. Just saying. Dija. Wow. I was not expecting this to get a buff. It's already a solid suit. You get one more shot in the clay bazooka shrapnel. You get 1,000 health at all levels, and the level 3 gets the leg buffer increased up to level 2. Looking really good with that. Yeah, I might try some Dija now. Just saying. So next we have the Gan EOS. 1,500 health. Level 2. This is level 2, by the way, and level 3 for these. But the Gan EOS looks pretty cool now. We got the resistance for ballistic up to 16. We have the beam resistance up to 16 as well. 5 thruster at level 2, and this is all level 2 stuff, and up as well. And then level 3 got thrusters up to 65 rather than just 60. And level 2 power and up went up by 100 for its beam bayonet. And level 2 power increased by 75 and up for its beam gun with beam bayonet. So the beam stuff, definitely better. You can definitely chunk with it, which is really cool. And the melee is even better than what it was. So you get the beam shot, and you get the beam bayonet to stab and poke, and the downswing is probably insane now. So looking good. Looking pretty good. Dodge Custom. I love this suit, and the gun is now insane, guys. We get 200 damage at all levels, down to 80% heat rate. The overheat is reduced to 17, so when you charge it up, you overheat, but you heavy stagger. The bullet speed when firing has been increased. Improve the difficulty of hitting objects on the map. Thank you, for goodness sake. I do that all the time. Increase the power of converging fire. That is crazy. I wonder how much damage it does now. And increase the speed of it too. So is it like the actual beam speed, or is it the speed at which it charges, which was kind of weird. So I'm kind of curious if the number actually changed, but I don't know now because it's just what it is. I mean, it was like 1 second though before, so it's like cool. So I guess it's the speed of the beam now, which they kind of already said the bullet speed when firing. I don't know, that's weird. Anyway, the Heat Hawk though, level 2 and up, went to 170 or 1750 damage, which is pretty cool. Pell Rider Ground Heavy, getting 1,000 health, and it got 5 to its thruster at level 1. The unit speed at level 2 got 5, giving it 125. The level 2 also thrusters got increased to 60. The level 2 power increase and up for its missile pod went up by 75, being 550, and 3,300 on its cannon. Up 150. That's kind of insane. The GBO2 High Mobility VG. Well, actually, real quick. Again, we just got the level 3, so that's what I said for the buffs. Yeah, pretty cool. Definitely could check this one out. Again, it's in the DP store or the ticket shop. So yeah. Anyway, back to the VG. It's an old suit. We have beam resist going up. Again, I'm glad. I wish they did a little bit more, to be honest, for this. But beam resist went up by 5 at all levels. The fighting resistance compensation, so that's the melee, went up by 5 as well, going to 13. And we got 5 thruster at all levels as well, going to 75, which is actually really nice. 135 base speed at level 1. 33 increased range damage from 28 at level 2. So pretty cool. I don't think this is enough to bring it up. It's 45%. I'm guessing we might see 47, maybe 48 next month. Raid types. This is big. This is really big. If you're a Gouf player, hallelujah. Here you go. Turning speed went up by 3. Cool. That's not too crazy. Level 1, though, unit speed from 130 to 135. Level 1 as well. Thrusters went up by 5 to 65. Level 2 also to 135 and 65. Level 3 also to 65 for thrusters. And then level 4 got maneuver armor level 2 instead of level 1. And here's the crazy thing. Increased fire rate for the 5-barrel finger Vulcan, which looks really good. And the heat rod increased the compensation of lower melee attacks. That's the downswing. From what I heard from Chad, he's hitting close to 10k with that. Now, it is, and the switching time got changed as well. It is pretty hard to hit. So I'm going to read here and see what they say. Has been shortened. In the addition of the power compensation, strengthened to compensate for the long hold time that occurs when using this weapon, but the power is too low to be worth the risk. Yeah, I really want to know this. I'm guessing it's like 200%, maybe 300%, because I mean, it's like you do this, whoop, boom, and then you pull it back in, and then you're like, okay, we're ready to go. You know, like it takes forever. So if you're going to do it, you better hit. But now it is worth it, I think. Around 10k, I can't wait to see what that can do now at all levels. I'm going to be definitely running it now and trying it around 250. Moving into the supports, the Zusa, 1,500 health, already getting a buff to this thing. I know that a lot of people aren't using it, but it has a lot of stagger potential and is very safe to use, and the damage isn't too bad. Now we're getting even more defense, and the firing correction is going up, so we're getting damage by 5% up to 51. Again, the health, and that's at all levels for all of these. The power of the beam rifle is increased by 100 at all levels, and they increased the accumulated value of stagger. We'll definitely go over that tomorrow. Hopefully the wiki is updated. Improve to make it harder to hit objects on the map with the 3 chest tube missile pods. I'm glad they're doing a lot of this because clipping things is so annoying. I hate when I clip something with, say, the Phas beam. That's a 25-second charge. But anyway, moving on. Gelgoog Jaeger. I wish they did more. I wish they did maybe the level 3 as well. But the level 4 just really suffers. It's got old scaling. It doesn't have enough health. I'm just saying it's a big feels bad because what is this? 450, 500, 550, 600? The 600? And then the 650 also goes up because it's at also other levels. So 600, 650, I'm hoping the 650 has at least 20k health because it doesn't have a shield. Yeah, it needs a lot of love. 600 damage though, doing pretty good. That's 25 when it's just base power, and the focus fire also got increased for level 4 and 5. And then they upped the power of the spot gun by 13. Not too bad, but I still don't think it's the powerhouse that it was because you spam beams everywhere and it was really cool and you had to do beam management. But for the skill cap it takes for it compared to what we have now and the C1 exists, I don't know. I feel like they needed to do more for this suit. I really love the Gelgoog Jaeger and yeah. But that's it, guys. That's the stuff. We finally made it through it. That's a lot of talking. 30 minutes-ish, somewhere around here. But yeah, guys. Pretty cool update. Again, sorry for the penalty rant. But yeah, let me know what you think about the penalty. Let me know what you think about the PS5. If you got the PS5, how does that feel? How does the haptic system feel? Like, I'm really curious to have one and try it. If you get the Kapool, tell me what you think about it in the comments. I'm really excited to actually try to get it. I might do a few spins on it. I already did like 5, I think, and didn't get it. But yeah, I'm definitely wanting to save for the next support, just saying, because we kind of know what it already is. So I'm definitely going to be saving. And, oh, here's the fixes, by the way. I don't think I really went through these. Nothing too crazy, but here we go. They're going to be on screen while I'm wrapping up here. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that usual stuff in the description below. Twitch, Twitter, Discord, stuff like that. Again, let me know what you think of all these. And, yeah. Oh, by the way, the O, if you had the right parts in the right order somehow, it would just stop working or something. So yeah, that's sure. Game would sometimes stop when custom parts were equipped in a certain way. Yeah, that makes sense. But anyway, guys, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Peace!